guys, today I am here with another life hacks video. You guys seem to really like my last life hacks video, so this time I am doing another one, but this time, because I've been traveling so much this year, I'm doing a travel specific life hacks video. I know you girls are always asking me for tips and tricks, how I travel, how I manage, especially when I'm out on the road for a month, how I make it all work. So here are my best travel life hacks. Number one, before you even travel, when you are searching for travel, be sure that you are private browsing. Because if you are searching and you go back and back and back to specific sites, like if you're using Kayak or airline websites or whatever, they track your cookies and they inflate rates based on what you've searched in the past. So if you private browse, then they don't inflate those rates because they don't know who it is that's coming to their site. You just go into your preferences and select private browsing. It's usually right there, especially if you're on a Mac. So one of my favorite things to do, especially because I usually get really cold on flights, especially when I'm going overseas or really long flights because you go really high up there and the plane tends to get really cold, I bring a thermos onto the plane, an empty thermos with a little slice of lemon, a little bit of honey or ginger, and then a tea bag in it. And obviously no liquid because you can't bring liquids into the airport, but you can ask the stewardess or the flight attendant to fill up your thermos with hot water, and then you have a nice tasty little tea for you to sip, and then you get your own flavor, because a lot of the time the tea that they give you is just one specific flavor, or if you're like me, I cannot have caffeine, so I get to bring my own decaf tea. Another one of my favorite things to do when I'm flying, and this applies for short flights or long flights, but especially long flights, I always wear a stretchy cotton maxi skirt, and I bring knee-high socks to wear under it. So if you're like me and you like to have your legs up or your legs crossed, your skirt can kind of go over your legs and it keeps you warm. And then obviously the socks, self-explanatory. A lot of the time when I travel, I just wear flats or sandals because they're easier to take off in the airports. So if you just have some socks in your bag and your feet get cold, you can slap those suckers on. So when I travel, I usually have my full makeup kit and also my own personal makeup, and I do use a lot of powders, whether it's face powder or blush or anything like that, and they are not the easiest on your luggage in the airport when they're putting it on the airplane. So a good way to protect your powders from breaking is to put just a little cotton pad in the container and snap it closed, and that'll give it a little bit of tension. So if it is dropped or shaked around or any of that, then it won't shatter. Now, most of the time when you travel, you will have an iron where you are staying, especially if you're staying in hotels. But if you are like me and you travel using Airbnb most of the time, it's kind of a 50-50 shot whether they're gonna have an iron or not. And my clothes get really wrinkly, and I like to have wrinkle-free clothes when I'm teaching classes and stuff. So I use my flat iron as an iron, and that really helps to release wrinkles, especially just for things like collars or little ends of things. It's not the best if you have like a giant dress or a giant skirt, but it totally works in a pinch. One thing I would say to invest in if you travel a lot, or even if you just travel once, is zipper pouches. I have these zipper pouches, there's 12 of them. These are the 3 that I'm just not using right now, but they're all different sizes, all different shapes, and these are great for everything. The bigger pouches, I like to keep my underwear, socks and nylons, hair scarves, anything like that, especially because I have a giant suitcase and it doesn't have a lot of sort of zippers for things, so these keep everything separated. It's also really good for dirty laundry if you have a big zipper pouch because it keeps your kind of stinky clothes away from the other clothes, but it's just a good way to keep everything organized. The little ones are also great for things like power cords, electronic cords, chargers, medicine. I have them for my nail polish stuff, so I use zipper pouches to keep everything separate. Another thing these zipper pouches are good for, my carry-on tends to be a very large bag, and you can stow it under the seat, but if you're on a 10-hour flight, you want your leg room. So what I do is I put everything that I'm going to need for the flight in one of these big zipper pouches. So like my Kindle, my headphones, whatever snacks I want, my water, all of that I will put in a zipper pouch. So then when I get on the plane, I just grab that pouch out of my carry-on, and then I put the big carry-on up in the upper compartment. That way, especially if you're in a window seat or a seat where you can't get in and out of very easily, you can just sit in your space and have the things that you need. So one of my most favorite life hacks that I actually discovered on the interwebs, if you travel with necklaces, which I do, you probably have experienced the necklace tangle, which is the most frustrating thing ever, especially if you're just trying to grab a necklace quickly. So if you have a straw. A bendy straw is the best because it actually is the shape of the necklace, but just a normal plastic straw works too. If you slide the necklace down through the center of the straw and then attach the necklace on the end, then it keeps your necklaces from getting tangled. Hooray! And you have a bendy straw wherever you go if you want to drink your delicious beverages with a bendy straw. Another thing I always do when I travel is pre-buy my airplane snacks. When you buy snacks in the airport, they're crazy expensive. I spent $10 on a small bag of pistachios once and I had to have them, so I did it, but I was not happy about it. A lot of places like Fresh and Easy is a really great place. They do small packages of snacks like small beef jerky, small popcorn, small chips, small nuts. They even do small containers of hummus, that kind of thing. So pre-buy all of that as long as it's not liquid. Like you're not gonna be able to bring yogurt or sometimes they'll stop you for hummus or bean dip. Most of the time they won't, but it kind of depends on the person. So just make sure there are no liquids, but you can totally pre-buy all of your snacks that you need for the airplane. Snacks are important. So my last travel life hack is actually more for other people than it is for you. But on your last day of travel, especially if you are in a foreign country, but even if you're not, odds are you're gonna have change kind of floating around everywhere in your pockets, in the bottom of your purse, in your bag, maybe in your bed, or I don't know, wherever. If you are like my husband, you have change everywhere. I swear to God, that man like poops change. But on your last day of travel, round up all of the change that you have left around and haven't used and give it to a homeless person, because it's just a good thing to do, especially if you're in a foreign country, because the exchange rate on change is basically nothing, so you're not really losing much by giving your change to somebody that is more in need of it. So hopefully you guys found these life hacks useful. If you guys have other travel life hacks that you would like to share with each other, please do in the comments below. As always, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more, and I will see you guys on the next one.